Good afternoon from beautiful Brisbane, Australia. How are you this afternoon? Or are you awake in the middle of the night if you're in the Northern Hemisphere? My name's Linda. I'm a trauma recovery coach, and I wanted to drop by this afternoon. It's not something I normally do, but I wanted to talk to you and share some information about loneliness. So hands up everyone who's ever felt lonely. And it's not something that we talk a lot about, is it? In day-to-day life, we don't walk up to our friends and say, listen, I feel lonely. And when we've come through trauma, oftentimes we reach places in our life where we lose all our friends, and even we can lose our relations through either choices we've had to make in life or choices that are thrust upon us in life. So I've been through two phases in my life where I literally have lost everyone and everything in my life due to decisions that I've had to make for my children to have a healthy upbringing. And it's devastating. So in my first marriage, it was when that had to come to an end, it was like you had the very soul of you ripped out and stomped on because you had a dream that you'd work together. It comes tumbling down, and then everybody wants to know, well, what's your problem? Mind you, they don't say that. They imply it. You know, there's nothing wrong with him. What's your problem? And I'm like, well, that's probably my fault because I didn't talk about what went on behind closed doors. But it means that we lose everyone and everything out of our life. So having been through this twice, and having someone who's, another person I know is going through loneliness, I looked a bit deeper because it's not always just a pat answer and we can always find more information out. So for me, what I began to do when I was certainly at a stage where I couldn't hold a proper conversation, and that was due to all the trauma I went through, I would spend time online just cheering and being each other's support squad. But when I looked into the information available now, it came up as one of the most effective ways of coming through loneliness, or the article is actually called The Cure to Loneliness, and it's a professional article, is maladaptive thinking. So when it's linked to trauma, the maladaptive thinking is that at the point that the trauma happened, we took on a way of thinking that to us is just normal everyday thinking, and then it's not serving us well as we've gone on through the years or whatever period of time, and we need to look at what maladaptive thinking that we have. So if we were to look at it that way, then we could sit down ourselves and say, okay, what thoughts or beliefs do I need to change in order that I'm not going through life carrying this absolute, it's like having this feeling of loneliness, and it's like needing to take, I'm trying to think of the name of them as I talk, when you're pregnant and you've got your stomach burns and antacids, I think that's what they're called. I'm trying to think of a name that'll go around the world. Rennies, I think we call them here, and I think in America they're called Tums. It's like indigestion. So loneliness can feel like a really bad case of indigestion that we're carrying around. So what do? Well, it's just what we talked about. You've got to sit down and examine your thoughts and beliefs, but then also when you turn them around, especially with complex trauma, turning them around, that we then have to go, right, I've turned that around. What experiences am I going to create in order that I can go on and pursue a life that doesn't involve this intense emotion? Okay, I hope that helps with your loneliness journey. Remember to check in with your therapist. They know you best. Check in with a trauma coach because they can help you with strategies and ways through the problem that are designed especially for you. Okay, I'm going to go back to writing my 3 books, and I'm actually talking in church on Sunday night, so got lots of writing to do at the moment. And but I love having more than one thing on the go. It just suits my brain. I go from one to the other and do what makes me feel happy and joy. And I'll just show you what I've done. I don't normally show people my work, but I'll see if I can turn this around so you can see. Okay, so this is the introduction to a book, or it's a manual for our soul. So I've got that one on the go, and then this one I've got on the go for practitioners to help with their clients with trauma homework. So I've got that on the go as well, and I've got this on the go. This one I'm up to halfway through chapter 3, so yeah, lots to do. And I think I'm working on this one at the moment, yeah. So, oh, where's the... Why do they keep changing where the buttons are? So, sit down and do something that you enjoy, because when you feel good, you can often begin to see where your thoughts are going off the rails. And sometimes the best thing we can do is break things down into smaller steps as well. Okay, great to share some time with you today, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning for tomorrow morning's Facebook Live. Bye for now.